Today, we're going to tackle a topic that's, it can be really tough to talk about, but it's just so important. We're laying out a clear, compassionate roadmap to finding hoarding support right here in our community, in Houston. If that quote hits home for you, I really want you to hear this. You are absolutely not alone. That feeling of being overwhelmed, it's completely real and valid. But the most important thing to remember is that there is a path forward, and help is definitely out there. So what does that path look like? Well, we've broken it down into 4 main parts. First, we'll dig into the challenge of hoarding itself. Then we'll walk through what a professional cleanup actually involves. After that, we'll zero in on Houston's amazing support network. And finally, we'll talk about the real path to long-term recovery. It's your guide to a safer home and a much-deserved fresh start. Okay, first things first. Before we can solve anything, we have to really understand what we're dealing with. And it's crucial to know that hoarding disorder is so much more than just being messy. It's a recognized health condition, and getting that is step 1. So as you can see, this is officially a complex mental health condition. It's actually listed in the DSM-5, which is basically the handbook that mental health professionals use. And what that really means is this isn't about a person's character or laziness or anything like that. It's a medical issue that needs compassion, not judgment. And because it's a recognized condition, we actually have data on how widespread it is. And these numbers, wow, they might really surprise you. It affects up to 6% of the population. That makes it way more common than OCD. So if you or someone you love is going through this, you're part of a massive community, and there really is strength in knowing you're not the only one. And here in Houston, our own weather adds another serious layer to this. You know how it is, the high humidity, the constant risk of flooding. It's like a perfect storm that speeds up decay and encourages dangerous stuff like black mold and bacteria to grow. This isn't just about clutter. It can become a genuinely hazardous environment, and fast. So, with all that, how do you know what level of help is actually needed? This table is an incredibly useful tool for figuring that out. Let's just walk through it. At one end, you have chronic disorganization. Maybe a bit messy, but functional. That might just need a professional organizer. But as you move down the list, things get more serious. Levels 3 and 4, we're talking blocked exits, rooms you can't even use. That requires pros. And by level 5, you're looking at serious structural damage and biohazards, which is a job for certified remediation experts. This really helps you pinpoint the right kind of support. All right, now that we've got a handle on the challenge, let's talk about the solution. The idea of a cleanup can feel like a mountain to climb, but the pros have a system. They break it down into a structured, totally manageable process. See, professionals use a 5-phase game plan. They don't just dive in. It all starts with assessment and planning. Next, they make the area safe and stable. Then comes the really compassionate part, sorting, removal, and donation. Step 4 is that super deep clean, which often includes biohazard remediation. And last, but this is so crucial, is restoration and aftercare. This step-by-step method makes sure the job gets done safely, respectfully, and all the way through. Okay, here we go. This is the most practical, hands-on part of our roadmap, where to find the help you need, right here in the Houston area. A lot of what we know about the local scene actually comes from a document called the Comprehensive Strategic Blueprint for Hoarder Cleanup Houston. It's a fantastic resource that lays out the best approaches for our city, and it really emphasizes that you need both the right technical skills and a whole lot of psychological sensitivity. And that blueprint points us to the real-world network we have here. Hoarders Cleanup Houston is noted as a #1 resource in the area, and there are other great specialized companies too, like Freedom Maids and SteriClean. The best part is these services cover the whole Metroplex, from Pearland all the way to the Woodlands, and they show up with not just the right equipment, but more importantly, with a compassionate, highly trained approach to doing the work. I really want this message to sink in. It comes directly from one of the local service providers. Do not be embarrassed. The professionals who do this work, they get it. They understand the shame and fear that can be wrapped up in all this. Their entire goal is to help you without an ounce of judgment. Making that call is a huge sign of strength. It's nothing to be ashamed of. But like we've been saying, the cleanup is just one piece of the puzzle. To really address hoarding, you have to get to the root causes. And Houston has some excellent resources for that. Places like Behavior Therapy of Houston and the Houston Center for Valued Living have specialists in this field. Finding a therapist or even exploring family counseling is a critical step for a lasting recovery. And hey, support doesn't have to be expensive or even in person. There is a huge network of free and low-cost online communities out there. You've got the Children of Hoarders Forum, 12-step programs like Clutterers Anonymous, and even the hoarding community over on Reddit. These are fantastic places to find peer support, to share what you're going through, and get advice from people who truly, deeply understand. All right, let's look to the future now. Once the space is cleared out, how do you keep it that way? This final section is all about those crucial, long-term strategies that make all the difference. This right here is probably the most important takeaway of the whole thing. The physical cleanup, that's just the starting line, not the finish line. Real, lasting change comes from what happens next, the aftercare, building new routines, and having ongoing support. So, what does that aftercare actually look like in day-to-day life? Well, it's a mix of things. Sticking with therapy, especially something like cognitive behavioral therapy, is a huge one. It's also about building new habits, super simple daily or weekly routines to stay on top of things. And of course, staying plugged into your support system, whether that's a peer group or just family checking in, is absolutely vital. All these pieces work together to build a really positive future. So, at the end of the day, this entire journey, from understanding the problem to finding help to keeping a safe home, it all starts with one single courageous step. This roadmap shows you the path is there, the support is waiting. The only question left is, are you ready to take it?